Hi everybody, my name is Patti, and I'm so happy I get to read with you today this wonderful story called The Dot by Peter Reynolds. Now maybe you've heard that word before, dot. A dot is like a circle. It's something that maybe you have on some clothing. You might have polka dots, or maybe someone's shown you a map and said, here's where we're going. It's right by that little dot on the map. Or maybe a teacher has said to you, just use a little dot of glue on that project. So anyway, dots are usually not that important, but in this story, the dot is really important. So it's a story about a little girl named Vashti and her art teacher and something that she finally figures out. So let's enjoy the story together, The Dot. Art class was over, but Vashti sat glued to her chair. Her paper was empty. Vashti's teacher leaned over the blank paper. "Ah, a polar bear in a snowstorm," she said. "Very funny," said Vashti. "I just can't draw." Her teacher smiled. "Just make a mark and see where it takes you." Vashti grabbed a marker and gave the paper a good strong jab. There! Her teacher picked up the paper and studied it very carefully. She pushed the paper toward Vashti and quietly said, "Now, sign it." Vashti thought for a moment. Well, maybe I can't draw, but I can sign my name. The next week, when Vashti walked into art class, she was surprised to see what was hanging above her teacher's desk. It was the little dot she had drawn. Her dot! All framed in swirly gold. I can make a better dot than that. She opened her never-before-used set of watercolors and set to work. Vashti painted and painted. A red dot, a purple dot, a yellow dot, a blue dot. The blue mixed with the yellow, she discovered that she could make a green dot. Vashti kept experimenting. Lots of little dots in many colors. If I can make little dots, I can make big dots too. And Vashti splashed her colors with a bigger brush on bigger paper to make bigger dots. Vashti even made a dot by not painting a dot. At the school art show a few weeks later, Vashti's many dots made quite a splash. Vashti noticed a little boy gazing up at her. "You're a really great artist. I wish I could draw," he said. "I bet you can," said Vashti. "Me? No, not me. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler." Vashti smiled. She handed the boy a blank sheet of paper. "Show me." The boy's pencil shook as he drew his line. Vashti stared at the boy's squiggle, and then she said, "Please, sign it." And that's the end. So whenever I finish a story, I really like to do some I wonders. And I'm wondering about this story and about Vashti and how she felt when she thought she couldn't draw. And how that art teacher had such wonderful empathy for her. She understood that it was a struggle, that it was hard to do. So she talked about that blank paper looking like a polar bear in a snowstorm. And then when Vashti finally jabbed the paper and made the dot, the teacher turned it into something really special, and that encouraged Vashti to try again. And then she figured out she was really a great artist, and she got famous for her dot artwork at the art show at school. And then what I really, really love is at the end, and Vashti's talking to the little boy, and the little boy thinks that he can't draw a straight line. And so Vashti has empathy for him, and she helps him figure out that he can do it because she just figured out that she could do it. So she took what she learned and she shared it with that boy. And when she gave him his paper back with a squiggly line on it and said, "Now sign it," what do you think's going to happen next? I'll bet that that little boy is going to figure out that he can draw lines and he can have fun with his art and he can be proud of what he creates. So I hope you understand a little bit more about how important it is to share what you know with others, to share how you felt when something was hard, help someone else have an easier time. So love the story, The Dot. Thank you, Peter Reynolds.